Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
Paula, what's up?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm excited.
I know we got some stuff going, some stuff really going.
Yes, this intentional living is really catching on.
Yes,
Oh my gosh, it's an intentional act of kindness. It's really catching on and I'm excited about it. Everyone else is as well. And
I know, right?
they're doing the countdown and all of that. I can't wait to hear all of the wonderful stories that people from around the world are going to be sharing. And I'm just, it's contagious.
It is. That's what the post said. Kindness is contagious. Pass it on.
Yes. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the banners that you create, which is really good. The background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Words that you say, it's really great.
I want you to go in the back, and I think we need to put each one of us bio on the page. Just a small.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Just a small piece of everybody, and everybody's an admin, so y'all can post whatever you feel inspired to post.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I do. I usually just repost your word. But I really want to post something geared to children.
Okay.
We need to include them in this movement.
I've seen a couple of things on Pinterest, even acts of kindness for children.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it. If I find it again, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, because I was looking for that, and I was like, oh, I would love to post so that parents and teachers and they can think of projects they can that they could do either at home or in school. And yeah, children need to get on on this movement. Children always want to do something kind. It's just that we have to guide them.
Right. And especially if we can get teenagers.
Oh, yes, the youth. Oh, definitely.
Yeah, because it's hard to get teenagers to, because they're at that point that it's about me, myself, and I.
Yeah. But you know what I find? Even I was talking to my mom, she retired, and I said, one thing and she mentioned it too, her sixth graders, they love to do things. Like if you ask them to take maybe, a folder to the main office or run errands, they love to do those things and they feel useful, I think that we just need to give them options and opportunity to perform those acts. Hey, Sharita.
Hello, everyone. How is
Hey,
everyone? Baby in the house today.
Okay.
You got the grandbaby?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
we'll wait about another couple of minutes and see if someone pop in, and then we'll get started.
Right. Exactly. I'm kind of tweeting people just to remind them, that we're on. So
I guess I was looking at my phone. I guess that was your tweet.
yeah. So we started the recording. I see.
I paused it. I accidentally hit it, and I paused it until we started.
Okay, that's the pause button. Okay, because I saw that it was still lighting up. So
no, it is recording. Okay. All right.
And that's okay too. Yeah. Hi, is that Jean? I think I see Jean up there.
Yeah, Jean is here.
Yes, our friend Jean.
Hey, Jean.
How you doing? Hello. Are you still recording or?
Yeah, I'm still recording. Hey, look, it got us.
Oh, it can't be paused. Okay, that's fine. Whenever you want to get started.
Okay. Yeah, let's get started, and then in a few minutes we'll bring Jean in.
Okay.
Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Troy Holt. This is the Blab, talking about John Maxwell's book. John Maxwell's the leadership guru and the top leadership guru in the world. We're talking about his book, Intentional Living, Chapter 2. I have with me, thank you, Bola, I have with me Bola and Sharita, my colleagues, my sisters, my team. I live in Pensacola. I'm a coach, trainer, and speaker from the John Maxwell team. I also work in the area of financial services, doing protection planning. And I'm gonna introduce Sharita and then Bola, and then we're gonna get it started.
We can't hear you, Sharita.
Sorry, I muted for the baby.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Sharita Douglas. I am also a member of the John Maxwell team. I'm very excited to be here talking about the topic of intentional living based on John Maxwell's book, as Troy has mentioned. This movement that John has put into place really, really has me excited about so many different things. One of the things that I'm personally going to do is to get 500 veterans sponsored through this program, because I really, really think that it would be extremely beneficial to them. But I'm so much more even excited about the fact that we are doing, in the month of November, 30 days of intentional acts of kindness. Hashtag 30, intentional living. What is it? Hashtag
I got it. I'm gonna put it
acts of kindness. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I'm so excited about that. So yeah, that's me.
Well, my name is Bola, and I'm an educational consultant, and I'm also a certified coach, trainer, and speaker at the John Maxwell team. I am so excited to be talking about Chapter 2 of Intentional Living. I'm also excited about our Intentional Living project, which focuses on kindness. It has been really catching on our Facebook page. And so I am just ready to just dive in and get the participation from everyone else that's on Blab.
Thank you, Bola and Sharita. We welcome our good friend Gene, who's in the Blab with us, and we're going to bring him in a few minutes. And all our other viewers, we hope you continue to watch with us. We're here on Tuesdays at 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern time. Next month, as everybody said, we're going to be doing the 30 days of intentional acts of kindness. Just doing, it could be small or big. We want to make an impact. That's our goal, is to make an impact. And we want this to go globally, make an impact. It could be small, could be great. Strangers, family, friends. And we just want you to come back to the Blab and talk about it, and also go to our Facebook page and share how you made an impact on something that you've done in the act of kindness. Do we want to go ahead and bring Gene in at this time?
Well, Gene said that he just wanted to learn from us today. I don't know what.
We're going to bring him in. We can talk about the Chapter 2 and then bring him in and find out his vital pulse.
Okay.
See, he's coming in. Yay!
Hey, Gene.
Hi, Gene.
Here, I'm just coming on just to sit and hang back and hear Troy's wisdom and Bola's deep understandings of life and what's important. And then after reading Sharita's Vita today, I was blown away. Have you guys ever read what she's done? I mean,
yeah, yes.
God, I can't believe it. Troy, have you seen her Vita?
You holding back on me?
Oh, Sharita.
No, it seems so little to me. Like, I don't know, for everyone else, it's like, well, she's doing that. But for me, it seems so little. I still haven't reached significance as I see it in my mind yet.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But they always say small steps.
Indeed. I've done a lot of small steps.
Yes.
So in other words, last night we was in a meeting, and our pastor was just talking. It was three other ministers, and he began to pour in us, and he was just sharing with us that we have stuff in us, and we compare ourselves to other people, and when we compare ourselves to other people, then we kind of hold back, and God has put something in us that we have that we can change the world. And so, like Sharita, a lot of times we don't realize our value and our worth, and she's kind of holding it back. So we need to get it out there, Sharita. whatever it is.
Yes, yes.
I'm not doing it intentionally. You know, it's just like I have this vision to go and train leaders in Africa, and I feel like until I'm actually there and doing it, everything else is just so small. It's the small steps, of course, I know that count, but they seem small.
Right.
But you know what? Your acts mean a great deal to every individual you touch.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, let's get to chapter 2.
Great to be here.
I love this one. Why good intentions aren't enough. I love that. That's his chapter 2. And one thing I found interesting was when he credited this saying by Samuel Johnson, which it says, hell is paved with good intentions. And then he asked, why would he say such a thing, right? And I thought, oh, wow, I've heard that all the time, but what does that really mean? And so when I thought about that, I thought about everyone has good intentions, right? So I have this desire to do something, but, you know, being intentional, really being intentional is actually the act of it. What's the action behind the desire?
Right.
So that's some of the things that I thought about. And I said, what are some of these good intentions I've been having that I haven't really been putting the foot to the pedal on?
Right.
So this project that we're doing for the month of November is really going to have me thinking and reflecting and really just putting things to action, all of the things that I've had stored up and bottled in me to do.
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited.
The bottom line is what he's saying is you have to have a plan, and then you got to execute.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't execute, then the plan is null and void. And so a lot of times, like, okay, I can have good intentions to pay my electric bill, but if I don't pay it, the lights are off.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't carry it out. And so the intention is good. The intention is there, but good intentions, it doesn't help. It's just dormant. And so we have to have the action behind the good intentions, you know, to make a difference, to be the difference. And I was going through the chapter, you know, just preparing, and the 7, we'll go over it a little bit later, but the 7 benefits of intentional living. And so we have to concentrate on those benefits and put action. An old saying, actions speak louder than words. You know, I have a saying coming from the scripture, talk is cheap and and action is expensive. Sometimes your action costs you, you know, because you have to do something. You put forth an effort. And maybe you have to give some money, you have to give some time. And so action is expensive, but talk is cheap.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, I was thinking talk really isn't part of servanthood either.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talking is just sharing ideas and things, but unless you act on those ideas, you're really not a servant.
Right.
And if we're going to be like Christ,
right, correct,
and have a servant's heart, it has to be much more than that.
Right. I agree.
I do agree. Wow, I love that. It's true. I mean, if you're going to be a servant leader, you're actually going to have to serve, which means you're going to have to do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just can't just bottle it up and say, I wish, I might. Right. You know, you actually have to do. So, yeah. Sharita, you want to weigh in on?
Well, I keep thinking about the fact that, you know, we all want to, you know, live this life of significance. I think that at the core of every individual, that is what they seek. They seek to know that their life matters. But the truth is it can't matter unless we take action. You know, so action is critical in achieving any level of significance, or, you know, just making a difference in any way. And it really is those little small things that matter so much that we just can't even imagine. I mean, I think about, you know, doing this work in Africa, and, you know, I have these roundtables every single week, and I'm beginning to realize that it's touching the lives of other people. I'm influencing this group, and they're going and they're influencing other groups, and they're influencing. So it is spreading, you know. not as quickly as I would like for it to, but
but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
That is very true.
So you're sowing little seeds, and they're little harvests growing.
Yes,
in parts of the world, right? And so that's all we can do. Some of the things that even John had mentioned, even in the book, like some of the things we might know of, and some of the things we may never know. And that's what a life of significance really is, right?
Really true.
Little did the usher know that gave 2 seats to 2 teenagers at a revival meeting in Carolina, that one of them was Billy Graham.
Wow.
All he did was provide a seat in the front row for these 2 teenagers. And he had no idea or fathom that what his life would turn into.
Wow.
Wow. You know, something else that I think about is that we pour these little, we give these little seeds to individuals, you know, like they went through doing that because someone poured a seed into me.
Yes.
Someone watered the seed. The same person that planted the seed didn't water the seed.
Right.
And none of those 2 people are even here now to see it manifest.
Right.
So I'm continuing to go on, and we're continuing to go on. So it's just, I don't know, it's just amazing. Living intentional on purpose is just absolutely phenomenal. So, Bola, what else does the book say?
Well, it goes to say, I think mine is on page, because I have the galley copy, and he had like words of good intention, words of intentional living, and a life that matters. So he had like 3 columns, and words of good intention, he put words like desire, wish, someday, fantasy, and all of that. But the words of intentional living are the action and the purpose. And instead of saying someday, it's today I'm going to do this, right?
Right.
Instead of saying, hopefully, you say definitely I'm going to take action. And one thing he mentioned was living a life that matters. It brings results, and it also brings fulfillment. You know, in yourself as well as in others. So I thought that was great. I love the way that he, put it in the 3 columns, very, very clear, right? And so I thought about the words actually, right? Because how many times have I said, maybe I should instead of saying I will? And sometimes it could be those limited beliefs that make you, to hinder you from taking action and really acting in an intentional way. But we have to be cognizant of those thoughts and say, you know what? I'm an intentional person. I am. Like Sharita always says, those words of affirmation. I love it.
Important, extremely important.
They really were. Like, I am going to do this. I am going to see results. Yeah.
I like the columns that he put, like you said, Bola, because visuals work great for me. I love visuals. Y'all know I'm crazy about infographics.
Yes.
All are. Thanks to Lance Jones of the John Maxwell team. Wow.
And so just putting in the columns, the 3rd column is everything is an action verb.
Right.
And so like I tell people, I said faith is an action verb. Let me explain what I'm talking about. You can believe all day. You can believe. So I'm sitting down. I can believe. I can go around the chair, and I believe this chair will hold 200 plus pounds. I can walk around and say, I believe the chair hold 200 plus pounds. I believe the chair hold 200 plus pounds. When I sit, an action verb, then that it becomes my faith is activated because I sit. I can believe all day. And so the same way with even weight is an action verb.
Right. So
even if you are waiting, God tells a person to wait, it's still an action verb.
Right. That's true.
Once you realize faith is acting, if you're a biblical person and you read Hebrews chapter 11, it said Noah prepared an ark. By faith, Abraham obeyed. All these was action verbs. And so once we realize this intentional living is, we have to put something in action. And that's the bottom line. It's got to be action behind it.
You are so right. So I wanted to, Jean, please say something. share. Before I would like to invite someone else into the seat just to come share her thoughts, because I know that she read, or she's in the process of reading, Intentional Living, MSW Brown. That's a good friend of mine. Her name is Shonda. So I would like to know if she would like to join in. She has a camera.
Hey, Shonda.
Where are you, Shonda?
Shonda, you still there?
We're waiting. Don't be scared.
Open seat for you. Well, she said she downloaded the Blab on her tablet, so I'm not sure whether she can, But if she does want to come in, we'll invite her to come in. But
I know you can do it. You can do it mobilely. I'm not for sure if you can. I never got in a seat.
Okay.
Mobile, but I know.
I'm here, but I'm not really dressed. That's okay.
Okay.
Hey, Shonda, whenever you get on Blab, always make sure you dress, because somebody may ask you. I learned that the hard way. Somebody may ask you to pop in.
That's so true. And I'm like, that's okay. Okay, go put your face on and just get in the seat. We're going to give you time. Jean is going to hold down the fort. Go ahead, Jean.
Well, your actions speak so loudly, I can't hear you.
Yes.
And I think that that's where the world, I think, is really suffering right now, in terms of not only being confused, but there are very few doers. People that do that, you give it to them and it gets done. And I think that's so missing. So many people say, yeah, I'll get to it, or that's really a good idea, or, they validate what you're saying,
right?
But they never see them really joining in or working with you to meet some common goals together. So I think that we're really short on doers. We really are. It was interesting, like with advisory boards. I was advisory chairman for Rachel's Challenge. You talk about kindness, intentional acts of kindness. There's a 17-year-old that the greatest role model I've ever learned from in terms of what she did in terms of promoting kindness at Columbine High School. But the interesting thing about her is that the parents didn't know it till her funeral, and they put her in a white casket. And Daryl, her father, and I, of course, been good friends now for several years. But he said, I didn't know what my daughter was doing at Columbine High School until people took a pen and wrote all over her casket the different acts of kindness that she had expressed. I mean, she prevented kids from killing themselves. Kids that didn't feel they belonged at Columbine High School. She always reached out to the new kids, to the kids that were handicapped.
Right.
And she literally turned handicapped into handy-capable kids in terms of the way they were thinking. Right. And just so many different things that she did. You talk about intentional. I mean, she was so intentional in terms of her expressions of showing love, compassion, toward those kids. And the interesting thing, since her death, and Daryl feels, her father feels, that all of our lives have a purpose.
Yes.
And of course he's grieved over her death, greatly, to have her sent to school, never come home that day. But he said her story has changed the lives of 23 million kids. 23 million have heard her story. And I've been in those assemblies, and I've watched the kids' faces. And these teenagers, absolutely, as they hear her story, there are tears coming down their face, because we have all kinds of video that we show. If you ever get a chance to hear Rachel Scott's true life story, it's just an amazing story of kindness. Okay. Anyway, that's just one example.
Yeah.
Rita, you gonna come back in? Shonda's not gonna come at this time. She said she'll come take next Blab. Next
Blab. We're gonna be here on Tuesday, so next Tuesday.
John Maxwell, he said, there were 7 benefits he mentioned about the intentional living, and one of them was number 1 was, what's significant in my life, and only the individual can determine what's significant in their lives. Jean, what's significant in your life is not significant in my life.
Exactly.
Now, what I've learned is, as I get older, different things becomes more significant in life. I remember, I think I mentioned this to the Y'all Bowl. I remember when I was in my 20s, 18, 20s, I always had to have tinted windows. I had to have a stereo. I had to have some rims. Now that doesn't matter, because it's not important. And so once a person gets older, then to me, we start looking at, okay, well, what's my legacy? What's significant? What's important? Yes. Trying to impress people is not important. Trying to keep up with the Joneses is not important. What happens when I leave here? Those things become what's significant in life. And so every individual have to determine what's significant in their life.
I was thinking about what Paul said when all the things that he did in his life, the Apostle Paul, and he said, and it's something that just is so profound, about what really is important, what really matters. And of course, we matter to God. But I think what he said was that he entrusted, that he literally entrusted me to do, God did, what he wanted me to do.
Right.
And to have God's trust that you're living the life that he would want you to live.
Right.
I mean, that is profound to me.
Right.
And you talk about significance. I mean, if I could live my life where I could really feel that God felt that way about me, I'd be blown away.
Let me ask everybody a question.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with you, Gene, and I'm going to go, if one thing you could do differently, if you got another chance, what would you do?
Well, I've said this on other occasions, that if I were to go back and even do the principalship all over again, which I would love to do. I wish I had 2 lives for everything I dream of.
Right.
I want to do. You accomplish the dream with a team, right?
Yes.
You guys are doing. But if I were to go back and do it all over again, I read a book by Bill Perky on inviting school success. Okay. This book was written, I believe Bill was from Florida. I think he's down in your part of the country. But anyway, he gave a presentation one time, and I was really, that was what he was saying really resonated with me. And so as a school principal in leadership, what I tried to do was to become an invitational, not only intentional, but I would make specific invitations to the people in my school, the parents, the kids, and the teachers. And if I were to go back and do it all over again, I would probably spend far more time inviting kids to be responsible.
Okay.
Inviting kids in terms of their capabilities, seeing in them things they don't even see in themselves. Inviting each person to help them recognize how uniquely they are woven together like no other. Those 3 invitations that Bill spoke about and touched me many years ago, I would spend far more time, because I think the invitations, when I start tracking them in terms of the kids that I worked with, their lives have been totally changed. They would say things to me like, Mr. Bedley, you could have thrown me in Alcatraz at one point in time in my life, but you gave me another chance. Because you said that there's something in you that I believe that you can do better than what you just did. And they'd comment on this 20 years later.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, wow, why didn't I give more of those invitations?
Right.
When a kid was in trouble, is to look beyond the trouble and to see in them something they didn't see in themselves. So invitations of responsibility, capability, and uniqueness. I do those much more.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Paula?
I think mine would be similar to Gene as a, when I was a school leader. The only thing is that I would do it more with teachers and colleagues. I think that students, because I was in this role of leadership, with no formal education in becoming a school leader initially, my focus was primarily really on the students. Okay. I think that if I would have, I did try my best to develop other, teachers who were under me and all of that. But I think that I should have, I could have been more intentional about building a leadership kind of pipeline. And so, but that's also because I needed mentoring. I didn't know what I didn't know, right? So I didn't know what I needed until I got out of it. So being part of the John Maxwell team, and being mentored by John and other faculty members have really, really shown me what it is to be a leader. And so now I'm on this movement and mission to train other leaders on how to do what I didn't know to do.
Yeah.
Share some of the best practices in how to be a better leader to their staff or to their parents and including students as well. So yeah, I'm on that mission. I'm on that.
I think that the one thing that I would do different if I could do it all over again is to give more positivity of myself to others.
Okay.
So basically, you know, smile even when I didn't feel like smiling, or, you know, say a kind word even when I was hurting inside, because I believe that, you know, in giving to others, I give to myself. And I didn't realize that before. And now that I realize it, yeah, I wish I could go back and give of myself more. That's the one thing I wish I could do different.
Mine is, let me go back. Growing up, I always thought leadership was a position. You know, you have a position or a title. And I remember when I look back, when I started getting put in leadership positions, I wonder, well, I'm not really a leader. And I started looking back. I remember we had a group, and it was a group called First Class. And I got a bunch of my friends together. Hey, man, let's do this group, you know, called First Class. You know, we just go to the skating rink and other places and get us some shirts and take up a little offering and stuff like that. We were just cool, just hanging out. But I was the one that got it together and organized it. Influence. That's what leadership is influence. I didn't realize it was influence. And so I always had the ability to influence. I just didn't understand the concept of leadership. And so I wish I could go back and have lived a more, if I could do it over again, have lived a more purposed life, starting out where I'm intentional on what I'm doing. You know, 18, 19, 20, you know, I was me, myself, and I. And so I wish I had, with the wisdom that I had now back then, I would have accomplished a lot more and helped a lot more people.
When was the first time, Troy, that you actually even thought about your purpose? You remember when it was or how it came to you?
Probably when I started, probably around 22, 24, somewhere around in there. When I got into church and I got married and things like that. And then as time has really, my son is 22 now, and now I have grandkids. And so it's really, you know, what's my purpose? What's my legacy? What do I want to impact my grandchildren? How I want them to be raised. Gene, you're familiar with this. I told my son this. Jacob told Joseph, he said, when Joseph had his two boys, Jacob told him, he said, these two are mine. He said, the ones after are yours. I told my son, after they're yours. These two are mine.
Maybe we should wait until we see what they do, and then we'll assign them their parents.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, wow, I like that.
That's good.
Yeah, I got one of those here with me right now. Mine. Sometimes I'm like, oh, what did I bite off?
But Sarita, you know what's good? And Gene, do you have kids, grandkids?
I have 7.
7. You know what's really I learned? I can apply the mistakes that I made to my grandkids. With the mistakes I made with my kid, I can change that with my grandkids.
Right.
So that's how I look at it. I said, now give me another opportunity to correct some mistakes that I made. Wow, Alicia.
Yes, God bless you, Alicia.
Well, it is multi-generational. What we do as a parent does spin off, and you see some of your mistakes in your grandkids too.
That is so true.
I'm going to jump out and let someone else jump in the seat just now, okay?
Okay. Alicia, you want to join us? We'd love to have you. So we could, Troy, would you like to talk about number 2?
Yeah, we're going to let Alicia come in. And if she wants
Yay, she came in. Hi, Alicia, how are you?
I can't guarantee complete silence. I have a couple of those kids hanging around still.
That's
okay. Understand.
Where you
Thanks
from?
for joining us.
Right, where you from?
Here comes one now. Here, she's coming. Oh, that's Bella. Bella loves to come in blabs.
Hello, Bella.
Hi. She said hi.
Okay.
Hi.
Where you from?
Parsippany, New Jersey.
Oh, we're neighbors. I'm in Brooklyn, New York. Yeah. So we just saw. Okay, go ahead.
No, I saw the title. I thought, well, it's probably over there, but I'm pointing over here because to me it's over here. Even though
okay. It's over here.
Say hi.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
Bella.
Yeah. Hey, Bella.
Very much like her dad.
Okay.
Don't really like her dad. So I'm doing a master course with Hanel Mandino and Napoleon Hill.
Oh.
So I like John Maxwell. I thought it was cool. So I actually just put you on. There's Vincent.
Okay.
Just listen. So
Hi. More visitors back there. Hi.
That's Vincent.
Okay, Vincent, how are you?
My second to last.
Oh, okay.
Looks like he's a Met star from the looks of that shirt.
Met star. Oh, he's a Met star.
We're a superstar tonight.
And we're gonna have fun tonight, right?
Nice.
Vincent's my pitcher. He's broken more glass in my house than I can. That Monet over there, it's got no glass on it because he broke it.
Oh, wow.
Because I wanted a temper tantrum and I slammed the wall, and I didn't know it was there. I thought it was still in the dining room over there.
Uh-huh.
And then she moved it over there for no reason, and then
Yeah, it's my fault.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
it's not shadow.
You be nice to your mother. You're going to have to pay rent when you're a teenager.
That's right.
Right. Yes.
Hey, Gene, you have 7 children too?
What?
7 grandkids.
Grandchildren.
I have three children, 3 adult children,
Very nice.
and 7 grandkids. Actually, most of my grandkids are pretty much graduated through college. I do have a 5-year-old from my youngest son.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been fun watching. I mean, I love grandkids. It's the greatest gift you could ever give a grandparent.
I look forward to it one day. It's going to be fun. I still have these guys. So
Okay.
There you go.
my oldest is 24, so it's not too long. Maybe another 10 years.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I'm in no rush, but it'll be sweet. I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Alicia, we thank you for joining us. We're talking about intentional living, John Maxwell new book, and we're going through the book. We're on chapter 2, and the number 2 was 7 benefits of intentional living, and the second one was intentional living motivates us to take immediate action in areas of significance.
I'm laughing because I have this product that I sell, and I went to a network meeting and I said, I'm not coming home until I sell these 3 boxes.
Okay.
And so I sold 2 at the event, and then when I came home, the lady said, "Call me tomorrow so I could get the next one." I was like,
Awesome.
I love it. I love it.
It's been sitting on my desk for like 4 weeks, and it was driving me crazy because it was like just seeing the box
Right.
killed me.
What
I was
about
like,
this box?
no, this is for my son. This is the box that I was talking about.
Right.
And it was just killing me. And you know, it's funny because it was like a silent reminder of failure.
Right.
Yeah.
Not permanent failure, but I wasn't moving them. And I'm like, I put him in a bed, but I think it was the action behind it. Not only saying that I was not going to come home till I really did come home before I sold it, but I made a text that ended up in tomorrow delivering it.
Right.
No, but I physically put them in a bag, and I put them in the car, and I said, I'm not coming home until I sell these.
Good.
That's pretty intentional.
Yeah. I heard somebody say sometimes we get caught up in the
I like it like that.
results and we miss the process. If we carry out the process, the results will take care of itself.
Right.
Mhm.
And I have to remind myself of that. And what you did is you carried out the process, and then the results came.
That's
And
right.
so once you made a decision, you made a decision. I'm not going to sell these. You went, you put forth the effort, then the results end up coming. You know, the third one came a little bit later, but you got your results in the end.
That's right. That's right.
You know, that's interesting because I was listening to my pastor this weekend, and he was talking about, you know, a lot of people don't pray that way. They don't pray like they could believe it's really going to happen.
Wow.
They're not intentional about their prayers even. Why not pray that God's going to take care of it and he's going to do it and turn it over to him and get on with it, you know, and let him be God. You're not God. You would have solved all your problems by now.
That's so true. That is so true.
So what's the third one, Troy?
Yeah, Troy, go ahead.
The third one is intentional living challenges us to find creative ways to achieve significant. This is huge.
Oh, yes, it is.
Because with our intentional acts, Alicia, we're starting next month. For the month of November, we're starting intentional acts of kindness for 30 days. Intentional acts of kindness. We have a Facebook page. Sharita, can you put the Facebook page in the box? We have a Facebook page that people can go and make posts about the acts of kindness that they did, a testimonial of what they did, how it affected the person, and how it affected them. And we're going to be blabbing about this in the month of November each week, and we want people to come in and share the testimony about how this did. But I was saying this is huge because it challenges us to find creative ways to achieve significance. Sharita said something was that I was going to do, and she said she wants to go pass out sandwiches to the homeless. And I said, hey, that's a great idea, and I'm gonna get a friend of mine, and we're gonna do that. Just out the homeless, just pass out sandwiches, just an act of kindness, just to make a difference. The page is in the chat box if anybody wants to go to that Facebook page.
Yeah, I was thinking about that same part where it says finding creative ways, because how many times do we think about doing something and then we say, you know what? It's just too hard. Let somebody else do it. Let somebody else, passing that buck in hopes that someone else would do what we know we were destined to do.
Right.
But then we take that chance that it may or may not happen. But I think that people also do it because no one wants to do it alone, or no one wants to do it afraid. So what I found is that when I speak of my vision to people, I speak of it in hopes to attract other like-minded people who want to do similar acts. This way, I don't feel as though I'm doing it all by myself. And then I have other people, because there's synergy in having people, join forces with you. Right. I mean, there are times when I just do it by myself, and I'm the initiator. And I find that when I'm the initiator, a lot of people join in, and I'm like, whoa, I have a tribe here. Great. So I can't understand both sides of why people wouldn't want to step out. But I would encourage people that when you have that burning desire in your heart to do something, don't look for someone else to do it, because someone needs what you have at that point in time. And so, it's beneficial to the person and to yourself to just give of yourself, in whatever mission you want to accomplish. One
of the programs that we have for teenagers in the Ambassadors of Compassion program is on initiative, and we give a quote like, that I wrote this thing called, "If it needs to be done, I'll be the one." And so what we do is we try to get teenagers to take a look at a statement like that and say, what do you feel about that? Would you be the first one? Initiative is a non-prompted lifestyle. It's the highest form of responsibility. Yeah. It's foundational to everything we do in our life. And so here's a statement: if it needs to be done, I'll be the one. Would you ever take that up? If you see somebody fall down, if you see somebody in need, if you see that somebody needs to lead them through this situation, would you step in? I mean, are you that, or are you just a person that's always going to wait for somebody else to do it? So I think that goes along with building their capacity, building their ability to see that, this is really going to be an important step in your maturity. It's going to give you a moral compass that a lot of kids don't have, et cetera, et cetera.
I agree.
Vincent wants to say something. He's been waiting here.
Oh, okay, Vincent.
I was just curious, so far in your book, how is it?
What, the Intentional Living book?
Oh my gosh, that's the last thing I thought it was.
I love the book. It's
Great
not
question.
Our book. It's John Maxwell. Oh, did you see the book? This is the book. He's our mentor, John Maxwell, and he talks about intentional living, and that's the book that we are. But that's a great question. That's the book that we are talking about today. We're pulling out some of the key points that he made. Okay. And anytime you have an idea, you could just chime in and help us.
That's the last question I thought he was going to ask. I'm like, what do you want?
That was a good question.
It was a good question. I'm like,
that was a really good question.
Sometimes they surprise you. Sometimes they do. Well, it's funny because in my Hanel reading, we're talking about in the master keys. So I'm in the 5th key, and they're talking about how you cannot receive and you can't increase your wealth and you can't increase your receiving if you don't give. So, one of the laws of giving, I'll read to you really quick. It says, wherever I go, I bring a gift. I may bring a compliment, prayer, trinket, flower, but I promise I will give something to every person I encounter. I promise to be grateful, a grateful receiver of the gifts that surrounds me, pausing often and noticing nature, kindnesses, smiles, and compliments to which I gladly receive with a thank you. I promise to give hope for joy, affluence, kindness, and love consciously with every encounter, regardless of the brevity. I promise to give without expectation of reciprocity to the channels. I am rich because I know I am in the dynamic flow of giving and receiving. I am in the flow.
Yeah,
Ooh, that's good.
I love that.
Who wrote that?
So powerful.
I don't. Law of Giving, I think was it Chopra? Deepak Chopra?
Okay.
That's great.
Law of Giving.
Yeah, so I have that in my master class. I have to read a lot. I have to read the scroll 1 3 times a day, my definite major purpose 3 times a day. I actually attempted Emerson's Law of Compensation.
Ah.
I was like lost with a capital L. And I would grasp little things, but man, that essay is hard. And then I had to read the Blueprint Builder from Hill, and then chapter the Master Keys Lesson 5.
Okay.
You're doing a lot of reading. You know what? I got a understanding of giving, and giving has to have 2 elements for it to be true giving. And one is the ability. Well, one is the desire, and the other one is the ability. And what I found is most people don't have the desire; they have the ability. They just don't have the desire. Mm-hmm. Giving, you got to have those 2 elements.
Right.
We can give, our time. We can give, you can open a door. Especially we talk about the acts of kindness. You can give small things. It's just having the desire to give. The ability doesn't always have to be monetarily. It doesn't always have to be something great that just take a lot of effort and energy. But sometimes it's just the little things, the small things that will help people.
I got to help Bella with the homework. Do you want me to just hang out, or do you want me to let somebody else in?
Oh, that's what I was asking Sharita. Sharita, I was actually going to give up my seat.
No, I'll give up mine. It was great meeting you guys.
Me too, Alicia.
I do Think and Grow Rich on Thursday mornings at 11.
Oh, good.
Okay, I'll pop in.
Yeah, I would love that. Eastern Standard Time Thursday with my mentor Klaus, which was from my first class, and then also this gentleman. I'll tell you a really quick story. Then I gotta go. Just one more story. I was in Think and Grow Rich with Klaus, and this guy pops in. And he goes, "Hey, I'm Branton Jeffs," and I'm like, "Nice to meet you." I have no idea. He ends up being the nephew of Warren Jeffs from the Fundamental Latter-day Saints. He was put in jail for having this cult, raping little girls, boys.
Oh, yeah.
He put his uncle in jail with his aunt.
Wow.
He's the most adorable, loving, sweet man who is so forgiving, and he's just a bundle of love and joy. And he was raped himself.
Wow.
And he was in this cult, and he rose above. He escaped, and he is getting his word out. And he's one of my co-hosts. He's awesome.
Wow.
So we're starting tomorrow.
Okay.
Chapter 1, and we're going to be reading it and talking about it. So it's going to be
tomorrow or Thursday. It's Thursday.
Thursday morning at 11 a.m.
Okay, great.
It's 11 Eastern, right?
Yes, Eastern.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
See you guys. Bye.
Right, thank you.
Bye. Yeah. So we could go on to number 4.
Number 4 is
Mm-hmm.
intentional living energizes us to give our best effort to do significant acts. And I can tell you, we have really been energized, especially with our intentional acts. That really have energized us these last couple of days. Jumping on board, we really have been energized. Anybody else want to add anything to that?
Well, speaking of energy, I'm telling you, was it Friday we got on to talk about the project of intentional acts of kindness. And
Right.
the responses we got from people on Black, just to give us ideas on, to start a Facebook page, right? And
Right.
so we start the Facebook page, and I don't know in less than how many hours, I don't know, people were just posting and liking it and loving it and sharing it. And I just feel like we've really caused this movement to just, it's just taking off, not just by us, but other people. And that's the influence that's of what we're doing is gaining momentum and energizing everyone, it seems, on the page. So I do believe that when you perform acts of significance intentionally, it gives you that energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
To just, it energizes you, but it also energizes other people who really want change. Because I don't believe that people don't want it. I just believe that they haven't heard a significant voice. They've been hearing echoes of people that say maybe, possibly, and all of that. But when they see people actually taking action and doing it, they're like, wow, this is what we've been waiting for. And we would love to roll up our sleeves and just get busy and do this. So I'm really happy about that. This movement we started on Facebook. Yeah, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, Gene, you have anything to say?
I like the word energy. I've always, I don't know, it's always meant a lot to me in terms of, I would use rules in my school, like if you take energy away from the teacher or the classroom, you have a responsibility to give it back. Mm-hmm. I think that's really the only rule you need. You don't need a lot of rules.
No.
When reminding my staff that Moses only had 10, And sometimes we have 75 rules and you got to love your mom or dad. How can you love anybody with 75 rules, But I just think that energy is so important. And when we express acts of kindness, it comes back to us and gives and energizes us. And the kindness in giving makes us more kind. Mm-hmm. It builds our acts of kindness. Rachel had this thought, as a 17-year-old. She said, and it comes back again to just smiling, like Sharita was talking about. Well, sometimes I just smile. Well, Rachel's whole philosophy is built on smiling. She said, you smile at somebody the first time, and they might not smile back. Right. You smile the second time, and they still might not smile back. But about the third time, if you smile at them and actually take your head out of the way and go over closer to them, there's just that chance you might get that smile back.
That's
true. But that's intentional. Okay, you do it once. That's not intentional. Anybody can smile.
Right, true.
I agree.
Well, Ebola, you kind of went in to the next one. Number 5 is it said intentional living unleashes the power of significant in us. Mm-hmm. So when we begin to do these acts, power begins to release in us. My quote was, I was just thinking, I was saying that it's very encouraging when a person do a small act of kindness, a hug, or smile, or whatever. I said it blesses both the giver and the receiver. Mm-hmm. So what happens is when we begin doing, I think when we start intentional acts, when we see that we start impacting people, we want to do more because of what it's doing to others, and it also makes us feel good.
Yes.
Unleash the power. And so I think it's gonna be a catapult of things that's happening. And then with a group of us talking about it, people say, well, I want to get involved. Becomes kindness is contagious.
Yes.
It's like a ripple, and when you throw the rock in the water and it just ripples out.
Right. Yes, Jim. I like that illustration. Yes.
I was thinking the time that there was a lady, my wife and I drove in. We always go to Arco stations here in California because that's the cheapest gas. Mm-hmm. So we get the best prices on gas, and our gas prices out here are, it's still pretty close to about $3 a gallon. So it's
right.
California's smog laws and everything else. We're the only place in the world where the birds wake up coughing instead of singing.
Wow.
Because of our smog. But anyway, we're going in this Arco station. I think we're on the way to a ball game or something like that. And I knew this lady, it's the stations out here. I don't know whether, it's the same way back east, but one car drives in one way, the other car drives the other way. I mean, you're facing each other.
Right.
You know, and so we're sitting there, and I'm seeing this lady in front of me get out of the car, and this car was the most beat up looking car I think I've ever seen. You could tell the way she was dressed. You could tell the way that she was, in terms of being responsible for her own appearance.
Right.
She walked in. Well, I had already taken care of the gas, whatever she pumped. It was done. It was a done deal. Right. All we were doing was sitting there waiting to see what her face was like. I mean, and when she got in that car and her smile lit up and she drove off out of that gas station, wow. I will never forget that act of kindness. Not that I want to get credit for it.
Yes.
But what it did to say to me, Gene, you need to do more of that.
Yeah.
Find people that aren't smiling and find a way to bring that smile back. Get some smile lines on the people around us by doing these intentional acts of kindness.
Yeah.
It was really kind of neat to see.
I know the other day on my Facebook page, a teacher, we basically we're in the same school. We go to college together, but and I met her a couple of months ago, whatever. But she's my Facebook friend. But anyway, she's a teacher in a school in Michigan, and she had subscribed to Donors Choose, and she needed the last $50-something, I don't know. And she was like, please spread the word. We need to get books for our classroom. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to do this. I am just going to pay the whole thing so she could get her library books. I don't care. I'm just going to do it. And I did it, and it felt good. It felt good to be able to contribute to a school library, a classroom library. I mean, I even wrote a little note to the class to keep reading and keep shining. And I mean, it's just, it made my night. It made my evening to do that. So,
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Troy, what about you?
Yeah. What was the question? I kind of got
something about when you something on significance. That how much it gives you in return. Kind of a law of return.
It really does a lot for me because I'm helping someone. That's my nature, to encourage, to support, even when people don't even return the favor, support others, but they don't. It's still, like for an example, my next question, I'm gonna talk to Sharita. You was talking about Sharita. Well, Sharita, what can I do to help?
Right.
What can I do to help? That's just me. What can I, if a person got a goal or a dream, what could I do to help? And a person might say, well, you can share something or do this or whatever. And so that's just my nature, is what can I do to help? And it feels good when you can do something and help somebody. And a lot of times it's just behind the scenes.
Right.
Sometimes I help people, they've gone and accomplished a lot more, but it's the behind the scenes. See, people don't need you when you get on the mountaintop. They need you when you're in the valley.
Right.
See, anybody can jump on when they're on the mountaintop, when they're successful. They need you when they're struggling. And that's when people need you the most.
Right.
Yeah, that's so well said.
From other people who might be out there that want to talk about anything, any significant act they've done for people that makes them feel just as good as the recipients. What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts? For me, I feel like when I can't do something for someone, I feel so empty, so it's not about the thank you that I get back or anything that I get back, but what I'm able to give, and what I'm able to do for other people, that matters really. That's what matters most to me. And I find that in the least likely times, I would probably get that back from people who may not be the ones that I initially served, but all the while I'm still getting what I need. And that means a lot to me as well, because you never know.
True.
You never know when those acts are going to come back to you when you need it the most.
Right. And it probably won't come back from the people.
Yeah.
Let me cover the last two.
Okay.
Intentional living inspires us to make every day count. And also, number 7, it encourages us to finish well.
Right.
And I think the everyday count, I know John wrote a book, Today Matters.
Mm-hmm.
And every day counts means that each day you have to get up and say, what can I do today? What can I do to make an impact that I can inspire, that I can influence someone? And every day count. The Bible says redeeming the time, taking advantage of the time that we have, because it's not promised to us. And at times, let me give you a little testimony. So sometimes these things happen in the most inconvenient time. I remember when I'm still one of those, even though I'm considered the senior minister at our church, I still clean. So I'm still one of we run about 300 on a Sunday morning. So we're not a small church. We're not a large church, kind of in between. So I still clean. So, but anyway, I had worked that day. I had worked all day. Then I came to clean, and then I was the preacher that Sunday morning, and I usually stay up all night preparing. And so I go to clean, and I walk out, and I left my keys in the church. And so I'm frustrated because I've left my keys in the church. I'm tired. I got to be up all night. I got to speak and stuff like that. And so what happened was some people walked by, and the Lord inspired me to go to the people and start ministering to them. And they said they would come the next day. They didn't end up coming, but I really got to talk to them and minister to them.
Right.
So what the Lord showed me is sometimes when we have those divine interventions and inconveniences, is the time that He's using us to make a difference in somebody else's life.
Yes.
So that was huge for me when I realized that. And so at times, sometimes our worst situation, our worst times is the time that we can stop getting focused off ourselves and look at helping somebody else.
You know, Troy, you said something the most powerful that I've heard today. If we were to study in the scriptures when Jesus stopped, when he was interrupted, almost all of his major ministries were built around that. What you just said, what you just did, it exemplifies what the Lord did. You know, and I think too often everything is scheduled and we're busy and we got to finish the sermon. What would happen if you just said, wait a minute, we're not talking about what Jesus did and he had a timeline to do it in. It's when he stopped. You know, it's when he stood still and he looked around him, and who said that, and what and then I mean he wasn't busy. He wasn't too busy enough to stop for people in need, and I think that is so powerful.
Yes.
That is true.
So powerful.
Michelle, you want to jump in? Michelle just popped in.
Right. She said something about not today. She's unable to do this at this time. Hopefully tomorrow.
Okay. All right then.
Or next week. I've got she said she's got 2 minutes. Yay. Okay, so I'll pop out and let.
Okay.
I can pop out too, you guys.
Okay. No, Gene, you stay. Sharita, come on back. Hey, Michelle.
Happy Monday. Oh, wait, Tuesday. Happy day.
Yes. Thank you for the video and also sharing the page. We really appreciate that.
You got it. We're gonna make this work, and I know this is not about what you're talking about. So I only could caught the tail end of the show today, and so I'm just trying to listen in, and hopefully I can see it a little bit tomorrow. But anyway,
this is intentional living, and that's what so it's still revolved around the same thing. Our page is a little bit more detail of where we're going, but yes.
Okay.
Same thing.
I love it. I love it. And just if anybody doesn't know, what I'm going to do real quick is, because I know you've already talked about it, but I am actually going to put in a link to the Facebook page.
Okay.
And that way, if anyone wants to, there we go. If anybody wants to click on the Facebook page, they can go in and like us. We want more than 10,000 subscribers. We want more than 10,000 likes.
Yes.
And anybody that does YouTube, anybody that does Blab, I mean, the month of November, we're going to blow it out. We're going to turn this world upside down with acts of kindness, right?
Thank you. Michelle, put your link in there to the video you did this morning.
Do that. Give me just a minute. I don't know if you can still see me because I'm.
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, because I have to go onto my YouTube account. But it's also on the Facebook account as well. So let's see. I think yes, here it is. So let me open that up and mute it so I am not I'm learning how to do all this multitasking via Blab.
Gotcha.
It's all new, isn't it?
But Gene asked me a question. I was multitasking. I think I was doing somebody and responding to somebody. I
don't know how you do a host. I did the host for the first time the other day, and I'm trying to do a presentation and then look at the chat. And I didn't find a co-host or somebody to take care of the chat. I think you need that. I think to really do it right, you need both.
Yeah, you do.
All three of those things. It was crazy.
You need a Blab buddy.
I need a Blab buddy. You're right.
We all need Blab buddies.
Yeah, we need to have a list where we can recruit Blab buddies.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, we should do a Blab about that. But anyway, intentional living is awesome. I'm so thankful that I found you, Troy. I'm so thankful that I found you. I'm so excited about getting to know this whole group because it sounds like it's right in line with what I do anyway.
Yes.
So it looks like we all are in alignment, and that's what we typically do when we live intentionally. We typically draw those people who either want to live intentionally or already living intentionally.
True.
So I just want to say thank you for doing all your hard work. And Greg, I'm looking forward to getting to know you. We're going to start being in the same circles, I'm sure. So I'm going to step outside because I know you guys have got to finish up your show. And this happens to be at the same time that our Women Inspiring Women show comes on.
Okay.
So we're like together at 4 o'clock in the afternoon is really, I guess, a popular spot. Okay. But regardless, we did do a shout out today for the 30 days, and then we'll be doing it tomorrow. We're going to be doing it every day this week. And Friday, I had one of our viewers who wanted to, because I typically do how to overcome emotions on Friday, and they wanted me to do perfection. And after seeing this, George and I said we're nixing perfection and we're staying focused on our 30-day challenge of intentional.
Okay. I see Georgia.
The whole show is going to be about this. The whole show on Friday. Okay.
What time Friday?
4 o'clock, the same time yours is.
I may be able to catch. I got an interview at 3:30 for my time, so I'm gonna try to pop in once I get done.
Okay, 4 o'clock Eastern time. I think you're Central, so.
Right. So hopefully I have about 30 minutes.
If you're there, we want you to come on and talk about it.
Okay,
or
cool.
Any of the girls, whoever the team is. I feel like I'm a part of the team a little bit now, right?
Yes, you are.
Can I be a part of the team?
Yes,
I want to be a part of the team. Anyway, I'm going to step off. I love you guys. It's so nice to see you, and I'm glad I had just a couple of minutes. So I'll catch you either on Facebook or tomorrow at Blab. Okay?
Right. Thanks.
Bye, Michelle.
Anyone else want to pop in? Any seats? We're ending shortly, but anybody want to pop in and have anything to say about intentional living? Sharita's coming back.
Oh, good.
Any other people that popped in?
Oh my God, I'm just so excited because, this is amazing, just the idea that we wanted to do something that everyone could participate in.
Yes.
And setting that intention, look what happened. We met Michelle and we met Jean, and it's just so amazing. It's just like so amazing. I'm like blown away with all of this. I'm like so amazed.
Miss Georgia, hey.
Hi, Georgia.
Hi, Georgia.
Hello. I don't know if you can hear me without my mic.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi.
Hi. I heard someone say hi.
Yes.
Grandbaby?
Okay, you want to say?
So I wanted to say it's awesome, and there we are.
Hey,
Hello.
pretty thing.
Pretty baby, yes. So just a shout out. Yes, you guys are awesome. I think it's wonderful, the 30-day challenge of intentional acts of kindness. And I sent out, and I hope and encourage everybody on here to go to your Facebook page. You've probably got lots and lots of friends, and invite all those friends to like Troy's page, right? To like the page is Intentional Acts of Kindness. And I told all my friends, go there, sign up, and boy, your page doubled right afterwards. So,
I know. Yeah, we got 300 so far. And that's
So, you know, people do that. It's a simple, easy thing. You just go tap, 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 and it's done, right?
Yes.
So, you know, to spread the word through all social media as much as we can is really helpful. And I had a conversation today with Bonnie Frank. You may know Bonnie. She's pretty popular on Blab. And she's willing to have people come on to her Blab to talk about this too. She's very excited about it. So,
awesome.
Know, I think that'll be cool too. I'll let her know when your Blab is, and maybe she'll jump in.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
Who, when she jumps in on your Blab, like 30 other people jump in.
Right. Yes.
So that's it. Let's spread it through Blab and through Facebook, and awesome. You guys are doing a great job.
Georgia, I'm also I've been posting it on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and I've got to do some on Pinterest. So it's we getting it out there, and so we're hoping that it just takes off even more. And thank you, Georgia. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, when I was talking with, it was a whole group of people that we were chit-chatting on Zoom, and Bonnie found it on Pinterest like almost immediately. So yeah, I knew you guys are really passing it around, and that's the way to do it. You're going to go to millions of people real soon.
Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome. I wanted to ask, is it all right to use that image that you've created on Facebook to advertise, to let people know about it and send them to the Facebook page and those kinds of things? Okay, great. I just wanted to be sure I had your permission.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
I think
always good to say hello, and I wish you all well. And I'm starting to make my list. And my list is not the list for Santa. It's the list for intentional acts of kindness.
Awesome.
For November. So make your list
cool.
And send all your friends. All right. Have fun, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Georgia.
Thanks, Georgia. Take care. Wow, this is so awesome, isn't it?
It is. Rhonda, thank you for joining us. Rhonda, you want to pop in and see? We're talking about, now we've shifted to intentional acts of kindness. Our 30-day challenge will start in November. We are putting it out through all social media channels. We're trying to get everybody just to challenge them to perform 30 days of intentional acts of kindness. Rhonda's coming in. Hello, Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi. Thank you for inviting me in.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Can you hear me all right? I didn't get my headphones back on before I came in. So, okay, good.
Well, yes.
No, I just heard about your intentional acts of kindness from Georgia on her last Blab. So it's a whole new thought for me. So it sounds wonderful, though.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Yeah, we just wanted to do something to make an impact, to something that everybody could do, and something that it didn't have to be great. It could be small. It could be great. It was just the intentional acts of kindness, and we hope. I mean, it just snowballs. As Gene said, Gene, what was the term you said, Gene? The water.
Well, it just creates an eternal ripple.
Yes.
Ripple effect, yes.
Ripple effect. I love it.
That's great.
Hey, Rhonda, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Just nice to jump on real quick.
Yes. I'm excited. I'm also excited that it seems like people are they are facilitating the same conversations on their Blabs. Mm-hmm. So I am excited to join other Blabs that are talking about this similar thing, which is the acts of kindness. Like let's boom the internet. Let's flood the internet and the social media with acts of kindness. To bring about an awareness, especially this time of year. When people are feeling kind of down and lonely, and I don't know whether it's because of the weather or what it is with this time of year, but it'd be great to just encourage kindness all around us. So I'm excited.
There's a book I meant to mention to Troy. There's a book called Heart Prints, HEARTPRINTS. And the heart prints are white hearts with red dashes around each of the hearts. Mm-hmm. And it's a book I use as a school principal and working with my teachers to talk to a kid's heart, not just their head. What's your heart tell you?
That's
when a kid touches you, then you're letting them know that was very compassionate and a kind thing to do. Well, these heart prints are good memories for parents to use too, because every time that a kid does something that's compassionate toward their brother or sister,
right,
or toward mom and dad, or toward a neighbor, they would fill in the act of kindness on the heart print.
Oh, okay.
And they would keep a record of them in their house to show we want to be a kind family. We want to show love to our neighbors, as the scriptures say, and as Jesus said, that's all about, treating the way you treat yourself and your neighbor, as well as your God. So I think anything we can do to make it a tangible record keeping, not so much in the record keeping of, every little act, but just to kind of give them a feeling that this family, because kids will come in and they'll say, well, the other family's doing this, and the other family's doing that.
Right.
And then you open up your core ethical values and you begin to talk about the things that make our family unique.
That's right. That's right.
These acts of kindness.
Right. This is our culture. This is the way we live.
Right.
This is what we value. We value people. We value kindness to each other and to other people. So I love that idea.
There's a little poem in the book. It says, "A heart print is formed when you do something kind. Your love touches others, leaving heart prints behind." So what do? That's up to you. You can offer a handshake to someone you meet or smile at somebody you meet. I mean, it has this beautiful little poem in it, and it's a great children's book, Heart Prints.
Wow. Yeah. No. I was just saying how I was talking to Troy about how we can give suggestions to families and even educators, teachers on how to promote this, with children and the youth. Sometimes they think that it has to be this big act, but just to be nice to one another, like to smile and hold the door for each other and things like that, saying kind words, to themselves and to each other. I think that that's something that we could definitely promote and suggest, So we're working on that because we have right.
I'm sorry, Rhonda. Where you from?
Tennessee.
Where about?
Yeah. Just south of Nashville.
Where?
Spring Hill, the Spring Hill area.
Rhonda, I'm from Nashville. That's my hometown.
Oh, yay!
So we gonna be good.
I thought that's where you were going since you were asking for specifics. I thought he knows where I'm at.
Right.
I'm sorry, Nola.
No, it's okay. No, that was it. That was all I had to say about that. Just giving people suggestions on what they can do at home.
We could play Rhonda's song, "Help Me, Rhonda, help."
I get that a lot.
I'm
that
sure.
song never dies as long as I'm around.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jean.
Yes.
Cool. I read your. I'm going to follow you on Twitter, Rhonda, and I read it. You said Middle Tennessee, and so I was like, let me find out. When you said Middle Tennessee, I know where that is, and I wanted to make sure. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
My neck of the woods.
Yeah, I'm a transplant and loving it. Absolutely loving it. It took us 20 years to get here, and we're not moving.
Okay. How long you been there?
About 6 years now.
Okay. All right. I'm in Pensacola. I really desire to get back, but I haven't got the okay yet. But I really desire. I miss the city.
Yeah, it's a wonderful city. That's for sure.
Well, tell us what you're doing, Rhonda, as far as intentional acts of kindness. We've been talking about all these thanks to Troy and Bola and Shrita. What do you feel the world is short of in the area of kindness, and what can we do that are more intentional to be a kinder person?
This, like I said, I just became aware of it about 15 minutes ago. So I can't say that I've had a lot of opportunity to do so, but I think what the world needs a lot of is a lot more positive reinforcement. I think more. I think that there's so much negativity and so much toxic speech that I think positive, loving words of kindness can go a long, long way. I know that doesn't sound like much, on the surface, but if you think about it, everybody can think of something somebody has said in their past, maybe in a childhood or even as an adult, that was maybe even a flippant comment, but it hurt so deeply. They carried that for years and years.
Mm-hmm.
On the flip side, too, I know sometimes there's been things that people have said to me where I didn't believe them about myself, but they said it about me. And so I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Well, maybe I'll borrow that. Maybe I'll believe that, you know, and so I take that. So right off the top of my head, I think that would be something that would be really good to do, you know, especially to maybe children in the stores or some maybe an overwhelmed mom, you know.
Yeah, I think the way that we treat the service people of our world is a statement about us more than any other single factor when it comes to, you know, kindness. The way you treat the waitress, the person on the telephone,
right?
And we started thinking a lot about that because in terms of this is a hard work to be on that phone all day long. And as much as you have to go through three phone banks in order to get to that person, that they didn't create that system. And there's something wrong with either systemic or because of the philosophy in that organization. But the bottom line is that we started being kinder to those service people because that's a real test of who we are in terms of what we present, the way we present ourselves to others around us.
I agree.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I agree. I mean, you know, it's how we it's how we deal with people. I said this again. I said this before. Even how we deal with children. You know, a little child, 3 and 4. Rhonda just said it, a person can say something to affect that child the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Right.
Have to value even a child, even though they're a child, we still have to value them as people because they're going to grow up. And I said before, they may be that child, if we do something negative to that child, it may be that child that we may be in a nursing home or a hospital and they are the one taking care of us and they remember how we treated them.
Yes.
So we want to always be aware of how we treat people and always be thinking about being kind. I mean, there's some people that, you know, that's difficult, that's hard to reach. Some people that will frustrate you and irritate you. But overall, it's really how we react to those people that really makes a difference. You know, are we going to get down to their level or are we going to rise above it and make a difference? And sometimes when people are bitter and rude and angry, sometimes it's something behind that.
Yes.
Not necessarily us.
Yes.
It's something behind that. And if sometimes we take the time and quit worrying about all our feelings and then try to ask questions to get by, well, what's going on? The person will calm down and we can find out, oh, okay, I understand. Okay, I see what's going on.
That is true. That's true, Troy. Sometimes we don't, you know, like I always say, you might dislike the action, the act of the person, but not the person. You have to take the act away from the person. And I think that once we, like Stephen Covey says, you know, seek first to understand and then be understood. Yeah. Very important. And I follow that mantra that I'm very intentional now about doing that. I mean, I would do that with children all the time, you know. With children, I'd always give them a pass. But with adults, I'm like, really? You don't know what you're doing. Like, really? You know, but now that those words echo in the back of my mind that, you know what? You've got to understand the other person. You don't know the history behind this person's point of view or perspective or whatever the case is. So, yeah.
I'd always ask my teachers whenever they were talking with a child, you know, being a school principal in the same school for 20 years and watching these kids grow and mature and knowing their families. I said, you know, anytime we counsel with a child and whatever we would say to a child, I want you to visualize that both of their parents standing or their parent, depending on what family they're from, standing behind them.
Yeah.
Now, they're not there, but the way you talk to that child is if they were there. And I tell you, that really gets us, you know, thinking, carefully choosing our words. Again, intentional.
Yes.
Choosing our words, not to demean, discredit, or disrespect that child, but to guide them and ignite them, to help them through whatever they're going through to get to where we want them to go to. and we do all of that in an act of kindness. And I don't think there's any other way. I don't care what kind of discipline problem it is. I don't think you have to be unkind when you're helping a kid make a better choice.
No.
Yeah.
No. Not at all.
Yep.
Not at all. And you have to kind of model what it is that you want to see, right? So I always used to tell my teachers, the teachers, and even my colleagues, you don't want the child screaming and yelling, but you're screaming and yelling to the child. You don't want the child saying unkind words, but you're saying unkind words to the child. So what are you modeling? What are you demonstrating to this child? And I think that words cut deep, even more than a physical abuse, because those scars, those internal scars, I mean, sometimes it never goes away,
Right.
So you have to be very intentional about using our words to empower and to empower others and make them feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, we're going to have to get rid of this blab, but before I end it, I just want to share a few things. We're going to start the Intentional Acts of Living November the 1st. I'm sorry, Intentional Acts of Kindness November the 1st. We do have the Facebook page. People can post on the Facebook page when they do an act and how it makes an impact. We will have a blog discussing it. We also going to have myself, Bola, and Sharita. We are JMT, John Maxwell team, colleagues. We will be giving away free coaching for we have a winner weekly. Also, we're going to be looking at starting what we call a mastermind group. We'll explain more about that later. So we got a lot that we want to share with our audience, and we thank everybody for coming and supporting. We're excited about what's going on, what's taking place, and you can reach us through Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter. I think I'm on all the social media except Tumblr. So anybody else have anything? Final thoughts? Rhonda? Any final thoughts? Dean?
No, just again, I'm honored to be with the John Maxwell team and your leadership, Troy. I think this is something that can make a major impact, and I appreciate you doing it.
Yes, thank you, Dean.
Thank you.
I'm honored to have you. Bola?
Yes, I just want to say thank you to everyone who participated and everyone, all the viewers and everything, and I can't wait till next week. I'm excited, as always.
Sharita, do you want to add anything? Sharita, you want to pop in and add anything?
Of course. Usually I had to switch places in the house because she was doing something over there, so I had to come over here because she started doing something over here. So yeah, I'm excited for this this opportunity. I hope that it spreads like wildflowers, and we really, really do something to make an impact. Because people really do take this to heart, and they really want to go out and do something kind for one another. But I really do honestly feel like in my heart of hearts that we are all good, and that, sometimes situations and circumstances, of course, get in the way of us remembering to do kind things. But I do believe that, we can go forth and make a difference and turn this all around, and it's just awesome. So I'm looking forward to it.
Right. And we want to say thank you.
Love you, Jean.
Thank you.
Troy, I'm going to go off. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
Troy, you're awesome.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you to all our replay viewers. Have a